It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great. Like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh, yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
Oh, we love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris.
And my name is Mike.
And this week, Superman lands, or flies, takes off. He does something with a new trailer we're going to talk about.
It looks like he fell at least a couple times,
Yeah,
so maybe he falls in this new trailer.
He takes a nap, and really, I can relate to that. Like, this is the Superman we all need, where he's just taking a nap on his childhood bed. Avengers set photo reveals some exciting details. People are in trouble over this. As you said, Mike, people are going to be in trouble over this.
Hear the inflection of Chris typed it in the show notes as the letter X hyphen sighting.
Yes.
So I just wanted everyone to know your hard work that you do here.
Hold on. While we're doing it, I'm going to fix this pun.
Oh, sighting. Oh,
yeah, there we
he's
go.
changed sighting with a C
Yeah.
to sighting with an S-I-G-A. So it's like you're looking at
Yeah.
it. It writes itself. Take that, AI. I bet you
right.
couldn't figure that out.
And it probably would take it several prompts. We just did it live, folks. We did it live here on the show. Spider-Man Noir makes a live-action debut. Didn't expect this week, but here we got it. And we're going to talk about that and more.
Yeah, there was like a ton of TV news this week because all of the upfronts were going on, and upfronts are like just important enough to like come out with like new content and fresh trailers, but also industry niche enough that like there's not a lot of people like writing about it. It's like not quite a con in which like there's media hype that's covering that a con is happening.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of is doing their own presentations all over the world and country and everything. So that's a way of saying like you just don't know what you're gonna get. Like I thought the Disney upfront was happening on one day, and I told Chris, "Oh, we're definitely getting an Ironheart trailer today." And then it came out like the next day. I was like, "Wait, I think they had like two upfronts because it's such a big company and they did it over 2 days."
And the thing is about upfronts is, you know, in a world of live TV versus streaming, live TV, they just announce the shows. They don't show anything, right? Because they're like, hey, these are what we're going to renew. These are what we're going to cancel. And here's what we're picking up for the fall. Also, we haven't started filming that yet. With streaming, they're like, hey, here's some teasers, here's some trailers. Because, you know, one of the things we're going to talk about is Fallout Season 2, and they had a little clip for it, even though that's not just dropping until December on Amazon. Also, 3 shows on Amazon I think we linked to in here, or at least 2 of them, did not actually put the teasers on YouTube. Amazon did not put any of this footage on there. We like to link to the official sources in here as much as we can. Amazon did not put any of these on YouTube officially. I had to actually pull separate sources to get them on there, which is very interesting for me because I was like, what am I doing wrong here? What have I done? Have I been like blacklisted from Amazon's YouTube? Nope, they just didn't put them up there. So fun little facts here.
Well, getting up front right in my face, we were talking just before we started recording here that you tried the new chili sauce from McDonald's, and
Yes.
I finally got around to trying the Bell sauce at Taco Bell, which
You got the nuggets?
I don't know if
Is
it's
that with the
always
nuggets?
been. Yeah, I got the nuggets. I don't think the nuggets are new.
No,
I think
those
they
are the
just
returns,
came
yeah.
back. Yeah, but they gave me a choice of sauce, and I was like, okay, there's like a spicy honey mustard. There was like some sort of I think like ranch or something.
There's
but I was like, I'm suspicious.
There's a jalapeno ranch and a creamy chipotle.
Yeah, I'm always suspicious of any ranch dressing that it comes like sealed in a tub. Like it's got to be made in house if I'm gonna get it. So I went with whatever the Bell sauce is, and I feel like this is their kind of interpretation of like a Raisin Cane's like style. Of sauce with nuggets.
Came in a tub. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yes, a little bit more tub friendly that flavor profile, but it was good.
Yeah, I actually had the nuggets. The presentation of the nuggets are awful. I hate how Taco Bell nuggets look. I'm like, these look way too dry. They're not that bad, but I'm like, they don't look pleasant compared to other chicken joints, and I'm like, that's fine. But I did actually enjoy the jalapeno ranch and the creamy chipotle. Creamy chipotle is better of the two, but I did enjoy those. And the bell sauce is fine. I just think the chipotle is fine. But the creamy chili sauce at McDonald's is with their new their buttermilk tenders or whatever that are back. That essentially will be your snack wrap tenders here in like a couple of weeks when they come out. It's warm, but like not too warm, and it's pretty good. I actually enjoyed it compared to some of their other sauces. I've heard it's like a permanent addition as well. So hopefully we do that. So we like food here. We like snacks. I'm a big fan. I'm drinking Ale 81. Are you familiar with Ale? They call it Ale 8. A late one, Ale 81. Here is made in Kentucky. Mike, I think I showed it to you when you came down. The Blackberry Summer Edition is here, and I actually got a Blackberry one for the show because this isn't just a regular show for regular drinks, Mike. We gotta spice up. We gotta bring a little pizzazz, a little flavor to the show as well with this.
I take that as an insult, Chris. We bring pizzazz every single week.
Yeah, it's true.
No matter what.
It's true. Well, you can't spell pizzazz without pizza, and I just want to say. Cheez-It now has frozen pizzas in the supermarket. Have you seen those yet? Because I'm on the hunt for Cheez-It's frozen pizzas.
I've seen the box. This reminds me, slightly pizza related. There's some sort of pizza joint, I think over on the East Coast somewhere. I don't know exactly where.
Pizza Hut?
But they do this bizarre pizza where the crust and the sauce is cooked like you normally would a pizza, like blank. No toppings on it. And then once it comes out of the oven, they top it with cold cheese and toppings, and then it goes in a box and you eat it. So everyone's calling it kind of like a gourmet Lunchable or something, because like you're getting all that cold toppings. And I've seen some people try to recreate it at home, and they say it's pretty decent. Actually.
Oh no! This is Ohio Valley style pizza, Mike. I live in the Ohio Valley, part of the country.
Wait, you telling me you could order a pizza with cold cheese right now?
I honestly don't know, but it's called Ohio Valley style pizza. I've never heard of this at all. It originates in Steubenville, Ohio, and served in parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. We do get a lot of Ohio stuff here, so yes, you could probably find it somewhere in here. But this is just wild to me that someone would do this. Also known as Pittsburgh style. We're educating. We're learning things today, people.
That must have been the East Coast factoid that I was trying to hold on to. It must have been in the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah, nicknamed the Poor Man's Cheesecake. I don't like this title at all. I've seen these images.
That's awful. Cheesecake. What?
Yeah, I'm not happy about this, but we do what we can with the news we're given, and then that's fine. All right, let's jump into some news. News is so uninteresting in and of itself. The company has even made fun of it, Mike, and that is that the Warner Brothers Discovery has changed the name of their Max streaming service back to HBO Max after a 2-year hiatus of just being called Max. And this completes its evolution from HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Max, and then back to HBO Max over a 15-year period. You sent me something from the actual company, like ripping on it, ripping on themselves.
Yeah, they at least had some just self-reflective moments where they told their social team to just drag the company. Yeah. They just had all of these memes ready to go. I don't know how to psychologically handle the brand being in on it, because it's almost like you're ruining the fun for me for making fun of you by getting involved in it. But like, it's almost like they de-escalate the situation. It's like when your parents want to ruin something for you when you're a kid, and they just start, using the fun lingo that you're
That's
using.
That's pretty skibbity of you,
classroom.
Mike. How dare you?
Oh my gosh, this huzz is all over the place. But it's so funny. Like, I was always on board from the very beginning of this. I think I'm even officially on mic somewhere with this podcast going, they should have just called it Max from the get-go. I thought Max was a fine name, 3 letters, it's snappy. You're launching a brand new streaming service that's like kind of an amalgamation of a couple different like brands and IPs.
Yeah, it was the first time
Like,
they
and
merged HBO Max and Discovery Plus, I believe.
Yeah. And I'm also on board with the Peacock, like the branding of the name Peacock. I think that's fine. I don't think it needs to be called NBC Plus or like Comcast Plus or whatever. Like, I'm okay with Peacock. So like, I always go, just launch with Max. I think it's fine, but now it doesn't matter what they called it. They're just whipping all over the place. And then also there's like rumors out there that they're thinking of breaking the company apart, which is hilarious because they bought it to bring it back together and now it might break apart again. So who knows? I am glad that I am not like an investor in Warner Brothers media, because it sounds like it's a nightmare, and I'm glad I'm nowhere near it.
Yeah, David Zaslav, a completely normal man, making normal decisions over a company.
As long as I can just tune in to The Last of Us on Sunday nights, and I can watch Hacks on Thursday nights. That's all I really need out of this company. And then we'll talk about it later, and hopefully a decent Superman movie.
To me, I think the HBO branding is stronger than the Max branding. We were at the origin of this podcast in the middle of HBO Go and HBO Now, and we were both like, what the hell are these two? Then they threw HBO Max in, and we were like, well, shit, now there's three of them. What are they going to do with this? HBO, I actually think HBO still holds prestige to its title, whereas Max doesn't hold prestige. Like, just Max by itself feels like Peacock. I don't think I'm going to go get Peacock to watch some prestige television, Mike, at the end of the day. And correct me if I'm wrong. There's probably some stuff on there. But HBO Max does contain, like, again, Game of Thrones, Last of Us. What are some other shows on there? Probably The Sopranos still, The Wire, things that were on HBO throughout the year. So I think, to me, it actually gives a lift back in the other direction. But at the same time, who the hell cares? It's just the name of the icon, right? People are trained. They know where they're going to watch stuff. It's not like they're convincing new people to go over to the thing after 2 years. So it is fun to have HBO. You remember what HBO stands for at the end of the day, back when it came out in the 80s?
Home box office.
That's right. Feels good to say that again. HBO. But yeah, so anyways, keep an eye. I think it's like maybe in like less than a month, maybe the end of May, 1st of June, they're just going to change the name. Literally, I don't think it changes their business model at the end of the day. And that's what's probably more interesting if they change something with that. But we'll keep you guys posted if we hear anything along that news side. Mike, I shared this early in the week, and I didn't know if we should bring it up or not. And we'll just bring it up in passing. The movie Kung Fury. You said you were familiar, and you're like, oh, I forgot about Kung Fury.
Yeah,
from 2015.
I forgot it existed, and I never watched it. But reflecting on it, I realize now that movie was so of its time. Like, it kind of perfectly encapsulate like the randomness of the internet, and also like the power of like the crowd, like when Kickstarter was like still a thing that people cared about, Now it's just for like board games and like indie video games.
Yeah, I bought some 3D printed that modular frame thing off Kickstarter, backed it earlier this week. But yeah, so this is essentially a parody style film that was like shot like low budget kind of thing, right? Like, I think they even said, I pulled it up here and note that resonated with me. Most of the green screen had been filmed using a Canon 5D Mark III, Mike, like a camera you could go buy off a shelf right now, which is wild for this. So it's a Kickstarter film, very it's not punny. I guess, what is it, like referential to like 80 action movies kind of thing. This is the movie, if you ever see the Hacker Man meme, that's where that comes from, in case people didn't know. So that was like 2015. And a leaked 10-minute sizzle reel shows off a sequel, including Michael Fassbender as the villain and Arnold Schwarzenegger as like maybe the president, I think, in it. And they're traveling across history to defeat the villainous Kung Fuhrer Adolf Hitler. This is wild how this would come to be, Mike. Like that a 10-minute sizzle reel would leak. But I'm getting Deadpool 1 vibes off of this. Like, right? Like, hey, we don't have any funding. It's probably too big for a Kickstarter. We need to get some hype drawn about this. Let's see if we can leak something online to get people talking. And they caught me off guard with the actors and the style of this movie as well. But also, this was filmed in 2019, by the way. This is it was actually pre-pandemic filmed, if people were interested in that. Did you? So the only thing I can take out is, again, like I said, Michael Fassbender plays just a very straight villain who's just doing absolute batshit crazy stuff in this, which I love. And I don't know if you felt any way about this. I would probably watch this if it came out, if I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I would stream this on a streaming service.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious if it's too far past its time. Like, you know, if the first one was so of its era, it feels like the world is in like just a different space now. I don't really know how to describe it, but it feels like, I guess, out of time in a way. I guess if it was done back in 2019, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what the reception would be like if the full, you know, feature dropped.
Yeah. Also, I've linked it in the show notes, so don't forget to go check those out. You can still find the sizzle reel online. It's not like they took it down; they just kind of left it up here. So check it out. Let us know what you guys think if you have any inclination either way. Moving into official trailers here, Ballerina gets its last trailer. The John Wick spinoff from the world of John Wick, or whatever it's called, starring Ana de Armas, is out. Tickets are on sale. This trailer kind of surprised me, Mike. There's a lot of John Wick in this trailer. A lot more Keanu Reeves than I anticipated being in this movie. I thought he'd just show up for a scene and kind of go away. Maybe this is the entire scene we're seeing here in the trailer. But I didn't think Keanu Reeves was going to have such a large role in here.
Yeah, I do kind of get like, oh, the studio needs to make sure this sells, so put every second of Keanu in it. I don't care if it's like a spoiler in any way. We need to get people to the theater on this one. Also, we talked about this movie in the past. There's, you know, reports out there that this entire movie, or a lot of it, might have been reshot and, you know, new creatives brought in.
Well,
from
it was
the original kind of universe of John Wick.
Yes, John Selesky, whoever directed the actual main, Chad Selesky directed the main John Wicks. I think came in and redid this after the first one. They were like, yeah, this isn't nearly as action as we thought it would be.
Yeah, so I don't know if is their solution to add more John Wick to it. I mean, if I had to make my guess, it honestly just feels like I doubt he spreads past one act. He's only going to be isolated into one part of the movie, and he'll probably just give some sort of either MacGuffin to Ana de Armas, or maybe just like a pep talk that she needs. I don't know.
No, they're fighting. They're fighting in this one. They're actually against each other. So
they're gonna become friends at the very end.
Wait! How dare you say that they would do something so bold and that they've never done in any of these other movies, where they fight for a bit and then they're friends?
One thing that I absolutely hate, and I don't know what the real solution is here, I just hate from the world of John Wick. It's just like, things used to have titles. There used to be a little bit of integrity to what you would call a movie, and now it's from the world of John Wick. Like, I don't know if a better title is like just John Wick : Ballerina.
That's what I would say. Like that's like the best option out of this, right? Like, remember when that Bourne movie did the Bourne Legacy, and it was Jeremy Renner instead of Matt Damon?
That's, at least that's a better title. It shouldn't be from the world of like the Bourne Identity. Yeah. Jeremy Renner.
Right.
What was the the Continental? Wasn't that like a Peacock show, just like the Continental?
Yeah, it was the Continental was a prequel, 3-episode prequel.
Yeah, that wasn't called From the World of John Wick, the Continental.
It might have got more views if it did.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing. Like, I'm sure that they have data to support this awful title, so I can't complain too much. But
you know what this movie is, right? You know how I lovingly refer to John Wick films as geezer teasers, right? old white guys love watching John Wick movies.
I mean, I get where you're saying. I don't think this quite reaches the level of geezer teaser in my. I would say it's geezer teaser adjacent.
Yeah, but like
it's adjacent. Like if you were at the video store, if they still existed out in the world, you know, you have your entire rack of geezer teasers. And then the next rack over is where you'd see your John Wick films. I'm not saying that they could live next to each other, but I wouldn't swap them.
I would say 51% or more of this is all like 30-plus white dudes going to watch John Wick movies. But I would also say if you told them, hey, you should watch this Ballerina movie, they're going to be like, the hell we are. Like, you know, I think that's the title change. They're like, oh, shit, we've... Not again. Maybe it's not the majority, but like, or not like maximum capacity. But like, hey, we've a lot of these, proud white boys aren't gonna go watch Ballerina, a movie called Ballerina. They need John Wick in the title, so they can tell people, hey, I watched the new John Wick movie. That's why I think they have it in the title. I agree with you. It should just be John Wick Ballerina. Maybe that is probably the better solution to this at the end of the day, right? So, I'm excited to. Okay, I take it back. I'm not excited to watch this. Are you excited to watch this?
I mean, if I had more of a free schedule in this this parenthood baby lifestyle that we've established, I could probably convince my wife to go see this one because I got her hooked on the John Wick universe. But I don't know if this is like babysitter worthy in a way where we go out of our way to like hire somebody so we can go watch this movie. Sadly, that is the case.
Yeah.
But baby is starting daycare soon. And, you know, it might open up a couple random afternoons in the future. I could see maybe sneaking away at 10 a.m. to watch this.
Well, Wednesdays at AMC's are half-price Wednesdays, like forever now,
Man.
right? So they moved them from Tuesdays to Wednesdays. But, like, yeah, that might be a way to do it. I agree. This might be, like, if I had a chance, a matinee. I'd watch it as a matinee. But, like, we talked about before the show, this is the only movie I can think of coming out in June that, like, is perking my ears up. I can't think of another June movie. Can you? Like May is Mission Impossible. It's Lilo and Stitch, but that's it.
I think there's maybe some smaller like comedy adjacent things in June, but if you're talking kind of like a bigger bombastic explosion, I think this might be our only one.
Yeah, I was thinking, was it Nobody 2, another geezer teaser? That one officially falls under geezer teaser, and you can't tell me any different.
I'll give you that one.
Might be in there. April, May, June. Boy, Wikipedia is really hard to do. So, How to Train Your Dragon. Nobody is going up against How to Train Your Dragon.
I think, according to a quick Google, 28 years later.
28 years later is the week after How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, okay, it is a June. Okay, so we do have some ones in June, but movies that we would talk about on the show, not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's all July. Like Jurassic World, Superman, and Fantastic Four. Like that's where we had... Old Guard 2 is also July for you, Mike. So, you know, get ready for that.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, and well, this isn't in theaters, but streaming Predator Killer of Killers is June 6th. Mm-hmm. So, on Hulu. So... I guess there is some stuff in June. I'm going to tell you the most movie I'm turned off of all summer is How to Train Your Dragon. Like, is that weird? Like, I just don't want to see...
No, it's not weird at all.
Okay.
It just, like I don't... there's people out there excited for it. I think there is like the next generation after us, Chris. I think we're more born and raised on the How to Train Your Dragon stuff. So I think this is like, finally a live action remake for us, you know. But yeah, I mentioned on the show before, the visuals are just like throwing me off. It just looks like they swapped out the characters for live action characters.
Everything's too close. It's too close to shot for shot. I don't like it.
Like, Toothless looks almost identical. Like, there was no iteration on his design. I know his design is iconic. I mean, that's how you make animated characters.
That's a great...
Create them with iconic looks. But, like, it just looks like the same character. Like, there's no evolution in any way.
Yeah. They peaked already. They didn't need to peak even harder. Okay? You've already plateaued. But anyway, if anyone wants to see that, hey, that's cool for you. No shade our way. Have fun in June. All right, moving on. We spent a little too long there. I'm going to disappoint you, Mike. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the sequel to Mutant Mayhem, has been pushed from 2026 to 2027. Now, do not be concerned, because this is more of a logistics issue. Paramount overloaded their animation schedule.
That's fine. I was happy when they postponed the upcoming Spider-Verse movie. All of these handcrafted with love feature animated movies. I don't care how long it takes to make them. I thought you were going to tell me about the teaser trailer for that Turtles video game that dropped this week. Was it the Last Ronin? What's it called again? I don't remember.
What did
they came out with just like it was the teaser of most teasers, like absolutely nothing in there that you could glean. They're just kind of saying like they're in active development right now. But now I'm kind of curious what gets out first, this video game or that movie that we keep getting teased about, you know?
I don't see anything in the news about this. Did you get AI faked out?
I don't know, possibly.
I don't see this is freaking me out a little bit. I'm like, I didn't see anything about video games, and I've been in the video games. Tactical Takedown is releasing next week or this week. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't know.
Okay, well, there's a Turtles video game coming out.
Shit up, I guess.
Okay, there's a Turtles video game coming out this week, but it is like a Final Fantasy Tactics where you or an XCOM where you move around, Midnight Suns-esque, if you will. So that's coming out. But anyway, Mutant Mayhem 2 or whatever it's going to be called. The animation studios who are working on it, Mikros in Paris is working on Plankton the movie. And Cinesite in Montreal is doing the Addams Family 2 and Iwaju. I don't know what that one is. Which is great because also they're not stressing out their animation teams, right? You know how we always hear about VFX people hating the industry, being worn down. Paramount has taken another approach and like, yeah, just do the good work and we'll move stuff around for you. So
the downside is all of these studios are out of the country. So bad news for anybody in the industry who works in the States, but I guess if you live in other parts of the world, you're getting some fun work.
Yeah, they probably outsource it. I don't. They probably have some outsourcing. I assume they're also going to have the scripts done, and they're already probably audio recording a lot of this stuff ahead of time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we'll keep you guys posted if we have anything else. But also on the other side, Paramount kept going on to give us the official announcement that The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, the animated movie is coming now October 9th, 2026, instead of January 2026. Which we hadn't heard much about this movie since its announcement to even begin with. So, I think a fall date is better than a January date, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah. January is weird. It's a weird month for media.
Yeah, it's a roll of the die if you're going to be good or not. So I think October's great. That's where Turtles originally was. So, we're going to be getting some good stuff back to back, year to year over Paramount. So, also interesting, they took Avatar right out of the title because of James Cameron's thing.
Yeah, that's probably a good strategy.
Well, they can't. I think there was like a legal thing. That's why like the live action movie was just called The Last Airbender. I think James Cameron locked down the Avatar use for some reason, but and he's got money to fight it. If anyone's got money to fight Avatar title, it's James Cameron. So we'll keep you guys posted if anything comes out of this. I expect probably maybe some Comic-Con footage of this, some actual still, so we'll keep you guys posted. Moving on, video games adaptations. Netflix has confirmed that Gears of War has added David Leitch, director of Deadpool 2 and Bullet Train, as the director. So this is also in 2023. They confirmed John Spates, who did Doctor Strange and Dune, has been writing the script, so now they have a director. So it sounds like they're going to be kicking up production and casting fairly soon. I didn't know this, but Netflix also has an adult animated series based on Gears of War in the works as well.
Yeah, whenever Netflix announces anything animated for an IP that it exists, I just throw it straight into the recycle bin. I'm just not going to watch it. They just churn that stuff out so fast. I feel like there's not a lot of love and attention put on it, even though I'm sure the people that made it crafted it very well. But I had no idea this was even happening, though this is probably one of the many things that we talk about on the show that I forget. So I'm sure we brought it up before.
It's been in the works and passed from hand to hand since 2008, so don't feel too bad.
I mean, I always I'm curious if they can just capture the visceral nature of playing Gears of War. Like it just feels like you're running around and you're like your character is like a playable punching bag in a way of like it feels like how is this block of a person even moving?
Yeah,
and then their gun has a chainsaw on it.
It's wild. Like the build of people to make them look that big, and then also like. It's a horror game, right? The first one's very much a horror game. The rest of them can be horror games, but like the first one's very much like, everybody is dying around you. Like they'll introduce characters and they'll get killed off like almost as soon as you meet them, or the last level get killed. It is wild how scary that first game is. And for those who are interested, there's a remaster of Gears of War 1 coming out August to Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. So they've remastered it for every major console out right now. So I thought that was pretty cool. Have you played the first one?
I played a couple of them. I can't remember. There was one of the gaming generations. I did have a 360. I played at least 2 Gears of War games, and they were very fun. I always loved the Hammer of Dawn. I thought that was such a cool idea of like, you're on the ground. They give you things like bazookas and these like grenades. The
crossbows I love.
Well. And then it's just like, oh, here's this thing that you almost only ever get like when a boss fight is coming up, and it's a freaking satellite from space because like we can do this because you're in kind of like you're in like a military outfit. You're just not like some rogue out there in the world, which is I feel like when you're playing first person shooters, you're usually kind of like a rogue in a way. Yeah. So I don't know. The Hammer of Dawn was always really rad.
And it's got a cool name. It's got a cool name too. It's not like it's like, hey, shoot the space laser. Now it's like use the Hammer of Dawn. I love it.
It's one of those things that it's like it's so cool. Like they could almost do a whole game just based around this thing. Like they could do a whole story like of it being built or it being like assembled, or they could do a prequel of how it's invented or something.
The next official game in the series is the prequel, showing the invasion with Dom and Marcus. Like day one, E-Day is the next game. So I fully expect them to kind of show that, because the cool thing about Gears of War is like they were in the planet Sarah was in the Civil War, so you have all these military people who are like killing each other, and then these locusts appear out of the ground and they're like, oh, what the fuck do we do? Hey, use the weapons we made to kill each other, turn them on the enemies, kind of thing. So
was Gears of War like the first game to create kind of like the survive the horde side game?
I wouldn't say horde mode was like the first game, but it popularized it on one of the biggest levels. Yeah. I love horde mode. Like it's so fun. Those clutch wins sometimes. Just that game is like literally, if I could think of how the 360 generation of video games, Halo 3 and Gears of War, like those are like the two games. Like, yep, remember sticking grenades in people for the first time, Mike, and then rolling away.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah, just blood and guts everywhere. The introduction to Cliffy B, the guy who would go on to, become an enemy of his own franchise. But anyway, Gears of War, game coming out, movie or series coming to Netflix. I'm gonna go the other way. Say the animated series could be good if it's told in tandem with the show rather than against the show. I wouldn't want to watch the prequel to the Hammer of Dawn in an animated series. I would like to be like, hey, here's some other stuff. So we'll see if they do it. Moving on to Amazon upfronts. Fallout Season 2 is dropping this December. Gave us a new teaser confirming obviously New Vegas is going to be the setting. We kind of got that with the last show. And then Amazon went ahead and said, hey, Season 3 renewed. Boom. We're going to get Walton Goggins while he's hot. Put him in Season 3. So that's cool. This is great news. We both love Fallout Season 1. Season 2 looks like it's going to... I can't say what it's going to quality-wise, but I'm excited for 2. And if they've got 3, that means they got a plan for it.
I finally put some hours into a Fallout game. So I feel like I'll have more context when it comes to watching the next season.
Yeah, I'm excited. New Vegas was a great game. It won't be based on the game New Vegas since that's a prequel, but it'll be like hey, these things that happened in that game will apply here. So we'll keep you guys posted as we get closer to December. Spider-Noir, which I think is the official title of this show, right, Mike? You have to correct me if I'm wrong. Spider-Man Noir. Got our first image and then a full teaser from Amazon this week. This is the show starring Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir that we've seen the set photos for the past several months. I'm not gonna say I'm eating crow, Mike, but this show looks pretty fucking cool for what I thought it was gonna be at the end of the day.
I mean, he almost looks. There's a brief shot where you could see his kind of goggles light up. Looks almost nearly identical to his character in the Spider-Verse. I'm really curious if there's been any sort of official announcement yet, or if they're hinting at it. Like, they seem to be alluding that this is the same character. Like, I can't separate the two. I mean, it's the same voice actor. The visuals are striking. That's one thing that we didn't know, because we got a lot of whenever you get like a teaser poster or stills or whatever, you never know what the visuals are going to look like. And we got those kind of set photos where he's riding on top of a car, but that's all from a normal camera. Right. This is noir to the 10th degree. This is like extreme black shadows, no color.
The bright white eyes just kill me, like you said. Like, I love how they are using shadows to their advantage, right, as in a noir sense. And the cool thing is, while we watch this trailer, it's black and white. The show will be available also in color, in black and white, when it comes out next year.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see if it's going to be like a day one or not. Like, is it going to be like? Hopefully, it's not like the Snyder thing where he did the black and white cut later. Halfway through the teaser, or about 10 seconds in, you get to see him like stop a guy shooting a Tommy gun, and obviously Nicolas Cage doesn't move this fast, but this person, the Spider-Man Noir, it is called Spider-Noir, by the way. I did check the title card. He moves fast. He looks like they give him some abilities rather than just, hey, I'm playing off the Spider-Man look. He actually looks like he has some abilities based on the spider powers. And the coolest thing they do to this at the end of the day, Mike, you know what they do? Give him the Rubik's Cube. Give him the Rubik's Cube from across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an emote in the last Spider-Man game, I believe.
Yeah, so I was impressed with this. Again, it's just a teaser. It doesn't necessarily mean the quality of the show, but after seeing him riding on cars on set and looking like a depressed detective, I didn't have a lot of hope, and this actually kind of brought me back a little bit, Mike. Very excited about that. Moving on to Spider-Man proper with Brand New Day, the upcoming movie. I've got two rumors I'm going to throw at you from two different sources. Number one, Sadie Sink is supposed to play Mayday Parker, who is the daughter of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in this movie.
Okay. That would lean towards some multiversal aspects, but Spider-Man has never been a stranger to that, especially this Spider-Man.
And it's set in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Could be a battle world scenario. We don't know yet. We're kind of in the dark on it, but
that kind of explains the look of Sadie Sink. If you're not familiar with the actress, it's one of the Stranger Things kids added in the third season, I believe.
She's the one with red hair.
Looks like. Yeah, it looks like you're casting a Mary Jane, which threw a lot of people off because, if you weren't paying attention, Zendaya is actually Mary Jane.
No, she's
universe,
Michelle Jones, actually. She
calls herself MJ.
Well, right, it's MJ, but it's Michelle Jones versus Mary Jane. But yeah, you're right. Like, it would be a stretch to be like, we have two MJs in here. But right, she looks the part. So that would be interesting to see if they do that. Mayday Parker was created in like the 90s, early 2000s comic books. Mary Jane and Spider-Man at one point in the comic books had a daughter. They thought she had died. This is a future where like she had lived and started to get some of her dad's spider powers. So we'll see if that comes true or not. The other part is the second member, Stephen Yeun, could possibly play Mr. Negative. And this came from multiple sources, not just one. So people are like, ooh, this might be real, rather than just, hey, one person kind of made the like, oh, he's Asian, so he must play Mr. Negative kind of thing.
Yeah.
Comment.
I hope he's not the only villain in the movie, because I don't know how to quite explain this. He felt like a villain that worked well in the video game because he wasn't the only villain. I think he's kind of... I don't want to enrage any fans out there. I think he's kind of lame power-wise, right? Like visually, he's kind of striking because he goes into like, you know, quote unquote, like the negative zone or you know, whatever you want to. You go to Photoshop and then you go to like image and you go to invert image and that's Mr. Negative. But he just kind of does like. He's kind of like an energy blaster in a way, you know, like he doesn't really have like any fun like tool sets to him. So I'm hoping they just put like another villain in the movie to kind of, you know, give me some more strength. Steven Yeun's great. I love the actor. You know, hey, he didn't end up being the Sentry, but this could be a way to get him, you know, in the MCU. So I'm happy he'll be in the movie, and you can do great things story wise with the character. But like, I don't know. I think just the power set's kind of lame.
I'm going to asterisk you because you only know him from the video game power set, not the comic book power set. So in the comic books, he is kind of actually like the Sentry. He's got his human persona, which I forget his name, whatever that is, and then the Mr. Negative. So like, it's two different people. Or two different personas, and like he is able to corrupt other people by touching them rather than being more of an energy blaster. So I would be
that's lamer than energy blasting.
Well, he has other stuff too, but like that's kind of what he was known for mostly in the comic books. Is like, hey, it's not negative zone energy. He very Sentry, like it's almost like kind of eerily close to the Sentry, and like, you know, his other, he was like had an experimental drug that gave him his other personality that's like Mr. Negative. So I don't know what they would do with the comic books, obviously, but I think what I would like to see, Mike, is if it's in a different multiverse or in like in between, they give him a villain who's not just tech based. Like, you know, even if it's another villain, we don't need an Iron Man or suit based villain again, because all three other ones were essentially tech based villains. So how would Spider-Man handle someone with different abilities is what I would like to see, kind of along the way. Also, we keep hearing, you know, maybe the Shocker and Scorpion come into play. Maybe they could be some other villains as well. But I think the hardest part about Brand Day is nobody knows what this movie is, and there have been so many rumors. I don't even know what to believe anymore until I start filming it this fall. So I'm gonna cross my fingers we get some Comic-Con announcements. Maybe Sony can do something. Maybe they'll let Marvel do some announcements as well, with Destin Daniel Cretton doing that. I got 2 bits of X-Men rumors for you. Not X-Men rumors. First and foremost, one is a confirmation for X-Men 97. Neve Campbell, star of the Scream franchise, has been cast as Polaris in the upcoming season 2 of X-Men 97. Are you familiar with Polaris as a comic character?
Polaris, X-Men. This is me live Googling because I thought maybe once I got a look, it would. No, I don't.
Okay, she is the second daughter of Magneto. She actually has magnetism powers as well.
That makes sense. Polaris. I should have just inferred with.
Yeah, it's
with
fine.
The name.
Yeah, and a lot of people think, Magneto only had Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. He did not. He had Polaris as a daughter as well, who actually has very similar magnetism powers. She was the star of that weird X-Men show in like the late 2010s. That went on that nobody watched. Do you remember when they tried to do that live action X-Men with the twins and like the powers, and they're all on the run? Polaris was the main character of that. So very interesting. But everyone's like, oh, she's Polaris in the movie, and everyone's like, no, she's just in X-Men 97. So we've got some confirmation for that. Here's where the rumors section kicks in, and this is from some highly reputable scoopers, I guess. Daniel Day-Lewis as the front runner for Magneto.
Okay.
I don't think Daniel Day-Lewis would stoop as low to do a comic book movie with knowing how he is about movies as art. But stranger things have happened. I think he'd be awesome. Actor Coleman Domingo, who actually voiced Norman Osborn in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon recently, as the frontrunner of Professor X. And
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Finish that.
I was going to say I've fallen in love with Coleman Domingo recently. There was a new Netflix show called 4 Seasons that had a bunch of other actors in it that I love, like Tina Fey and Will Forte. Steve Carell was in it too. Coleman Domingo is part of the cast, and I can't recall seeing him in anything recently that I've watched, but I know he's really popular out there.
Fear the Walking Dead, I think, was his big breakthrough. The spinoff show.
Yeah. I'd welcome him to the franchise.
Yeah.
He would be awesome.
I agree. I think he'd be great. None of these actors are like, having me cringe or like, worried yet. And then lastly, actress Daisy Edgar Jones as Jean Grey is the front runner here.
Yeah, not familiar with her as much. On the IMDb page right now. And,
I looked her up and I forgot what she was in.
Don't know her.
But yeah, so
she was in the new Twisters movie recently.
Yeah, Twisters.
I didn't see it, but
Twisters
she was in it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So none of these are red flags. It sounds like they are taking their time and getting high-profile actors to play mutant characters going forward. I think a lot hinges on the reception to the first, grouping of X-Men. So very interesting, and I'm here for it. Let's see again Comic-Con this year. We'll see if we get some news, official news. Speaking of official news, at the upfronts, Marvel confirmed Kristen Ritter is returning as Jessica Jones in Daredevil Season 2, Mike. Finally, we can put this rumor to bed.
Good.
Yes.
It needs an injection of some other Defenders characters.
Yeah. Here's what I say. Put it in a different fucking city. Hate to be like that, but literally we just watched Daredevil, and then we watched Thunderbolts, which took place in New York, and they didn't really touch each other. And I'm going to guess they're not even going to reference it come next year. And they're probably not even going to reference the events of, what's that movie? Doomsday, Secret Wars. So can we just move them out of New York, you think? Or like somewhere else?
No. What are they going to go? Jersey?
Yeah.
They'll just make fun of it the whole time.
That's
all I know. That's all I know about New York.
They already made fun of Jersey at the bank episode. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But anyway, we can put it to bed. Kristen Ritter coming back. That doesn't rule out anyone else coming, but that's the ones they have confirmed. My guess is she's probably going to be filming something soon on the streets, and they just want to get ahead of it. Moving on, Ironheart, Mike. This is an upcoming. This is one of the last shows of the Bob Chapek era series. This was executive produced, probably straight up produced by Ryan Coogler, and they have said that it's coming out this summer. On Disney Plus, and we got our first trailer. I see a lot online, and I agree with this statement, Mike. I love the return of actual metal functional suits that are not nanotechnology.
Yeah, the nanotech was always something that just made it feel like it's not real anymore. They made an entire movie about can Tony Stark live without the suit that he built because he's just a normal man. But then once the suit became nanotech, it's like, oh, he's a suit. He has superpowers now.
His glasses have like a glove in it that he can turn into a glove. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because when I went and saw Sinners a couple weeks ago, which was written and directed by Ryan Coogler, I fell real deep into the internet rabbit hole of Sinners, and all the algorithms were showing me a bunch of Sinners content. So, which meant I got a lot of Ryan Coogler conversations, and everybody was just like, oh, it's so insane that they haven't released a trailer for Ironheart. It's like they don't believe in it, and this is Ryan Coogler's next project. And then I was just waiting for anybody on the internet to bring up the fact that, like, this isn't really his show. I just want to remind people, this isn't like a Ryan Coogler show. He's an EP on it, but, like, he's an EP in the sense of, like, I think he's just attaching his name to it in a way. Like, this show is like truly made by like an individual like showrunner and other writers. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. So I thought that was kind of funny. Where I think somebody finally piped up one day on social media and was just like, "Hey, I'm glad everyone can be excited for this, but this isn't going to be like another Ryan Coogler joint.
Well,
like, this is something different."
Yeah, well, but add an asterisk. He did bring the character to live action through his movie Wakanda Forever, so it is trailing off of what he's trailing off of what he did with it, I guess. Yeah. It's not like he wasn't.
I think that's how he's getting that. EP credit, and of course, I'm sure a Marvel likes putting his name in front of it as well. All I'm saying is like this is coming from a different creative team, and like you mentioned, this is like the last thing from the Chapek era. I think it's telling that we didn't get a trailer until a couple days ago, and we're so close to it being released. I'm not saying it can't be good. You know, I'm not seeing anything in this trailer that worries me anyway.
I disagree. June 24th, and we just got through Andor and Daredevil. I don't think they put a trailer before any of those things. Like, they're very methodical. Like, one thing has to end before we market the other one, is what it feels like. I'm not saying it's going to be good or not, but I don't think quality has any indication. Disney Plus just only does one thing at a time. That's all they'll ever do. For people,
that could be possible, and also, like we said on the show, usually the most obvious excuse is the right one. It's just like they got a lot of things going on, so we're gonna wait for the last Marvel project to kind of go away, so we can start amping up the next one. But I don't know. I'm a little worried about this one. It's the last thing from the Chapek era. I like the more and more I reflect on the last Black Panther movie, I really don't think I liked it, and I don't think the inclusion of Riri Williams. I don't think the inclusion of her character really helped or hurt. I don't really remember much that got me excited about that movie. So like, I wouldn't say I'm particularly excited to see the character again. Like, I wasn't like ingratiated back when the movie came out, so I don't know. Hopefully the show drops, lots of positive reaction hits the internet, gets me excited to go watch it.
I'm gonna say, knowing that what they did with Echo, this one had even an extra year and a half. This has the best chance of being a good show compared to any of the other ones from that era.
That's true.
Because they've had time to tweak it and do things with it that they didn't do. That they kind of did that with Echo. They cut one whole episode out, made that 5 episodes, did fine. I think if this was bad enough, they'd have been like, we could probably cancel it and not worry about it. I think there's a little bit of something in here that's probably going to pop off.
I'm a little worried that we're not going to get that much suit action, just because now this isn't the only footage we've seen. There's a teaser trailer out there, and this almost just feels like an expanded teaser trailer. I feel like I'm kind of getting the same scenes, but just longer cuts to each section. So I'm kind of curious, like, are they gonna like kind of trim the budget so we don't have to? So are they gonna save the suit? Like, are they gonna do it like every other episode? I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm a nervously optimistic.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. There's 2 videos here for those interested. One's the trailer, and then one was a behind the scenes video, which the Legacy of Riri Williams, including an interview with Ryan Coogler, who talks about it and his involvement with this stuff. So you can check out that as well. They said Ryan Coogler and the filmmakers. They don't even put the regular filmmakers up, so they're leaning on his current Sinner's success. On that, I think it'll be fine. I'm interested. It's got the guy from what the hell is that play? Hamilton. It was the guy.
In the Heights.
In the Heights. But
he was the star of that.
But he was also he was in the original Hamilton play as well. Anthony Ramos. The last Transformers movie.
That gem.
Yeah. So he's in this, but he's playing the Red Hood, which is a magic-based character, and you kind of see some of his like scarring on his back and stuff. So I'm interested in how they bring that up. There's nothing scary about a guy wearing a Red Riding Hood cloak with 2 guns. So I'm very intrigued what they're going to do with him, because he doesn't have a good visual aspect, but if it looks like he's got some magical stuff involved in throughout this. But there's been a lot of rumors over the years on this one, since it's been forever since they filmed it. I'm interested to see what they've done with it. And I think on the other end, they've not let it sit for several years. I think they've been working on it, so hopefully we get to see that when it drops. 3-episode premiere on June 24th. The next show after that, live action from Marvel, is Wonder Man. And at the upfronts, they said, Brad Winderbaum says 8 episodes at 30 minutes each, and that they're taking a wait-and-see approach for Wonder Man and Ironheart before announcing more seasons. So, a regular TV model, Mike. That's what it sounds like for these. I also don't think these two Wonder Man has a good opportunity to get more seasons. I don't think Ironheart has an opportunity for more seasons.
Yeah, because that's the show that kind of feels like, oh, we're just trying to develop the character a little bit more before she pops up in live action. You know, could this possibly be our Iron Man replacement in a way? To get a suited character back on.
I don't even think that. I think put her in Champions. I think Ironheart will go to the Champions, because of the age and. You know, she's not going to have the stuff. She doesn't have the money or the access to technology Tony Stark did. So I think she will be. I'd love to see her actually hang out with like Kate Bishop and Miss Marvel and some of the younger characters. I think she'd be a really interesting addition to that team with a bulkier suit. I don't like the slim one at the end of Wakanda Forever is not that good. I think to me at the end of the day. So, but Wonder Man, 30-minute episodes. I think this is one of the. Again, it looks like a comedy. It looks like a more lighthearted, less heavy show, so I'm excited to see how that kind of kicks off at the end. Is this our last? No, Daredevil had 8 episodes, right? Or did it? Yeah, it had 8 episodes. So I think we've not had a 30-minute show in a while for Marvel, so I'm curious to see. Anyway, at the end of the year. Lastly, the Vision series. We talked about last week being the last of the big screen heroes coming down. The news this week is that the series will introduce Jocasta, aka the Bride of Ultron from the comic books. And in the comic books, Ultron was based on the brainwaves of Hank Pym. Jocasta was based on the brainwaves of Janet Van Dyne in a very much a Bride of Frankenstein kind of way, but with robots. And the casting call essentially says Jocasta is being described as being cunning, as a being cunning, powerful, determined, and motivated by revenge. So I'm interested to see what this is. It's a very deep pull, I think. This is some deep pull for Jocasta.
I'm doing so much Googling this episode, Chris.
Fun fact, my iPad's nickname is Jocasta because I've been naming it after literally Marvel robotic characters.
Yeah, I feel like the character looks familiar. I'm curious, like, was she in like a Marvel vs. Capcom or something like that? Like an old action figure? I don't know. The character looks familiar, but yeah, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, exactly. And they had concept art released a while back, I believe, as well, where she's essentially a female Ultron, is what she looked at. But yeah, Ultimate Jocasta was essentially like the Silver Surfer kind of thing. So she's got a lot of Marvel history, but a lot of people don't know her. She's just kind of a deep kind of pull on that one. But I'm excited for Vision. They're like I said, they're pulling out some really weird characters over time. Moving into Avengers Doomsday, we got set photo updates. This might be spoilery, but boy, they were already on the internet before I got to them. So we're just going to talk about. So if you want not know anything Avengers Doomsday, move away. However, I will put an asterisk, Mike, as always with the Avengers properties. Guess what? This could be a red herring, like nobody's business, right? Like they could literally be making whole sets for this.
I never considered the fact that they could have just built this as like a ploy to just. You sent me the video earlier in the week. It's like literally a video. People, boots on the ground, like they're on the set. This ain't a drone anymore. And you see other people in yellow vests like walking around. So I don't know if this is like some sort of like third, fourth filming unit or if these
looks like a construction unit. Here. Looks like a construction unit.
Are these people here just like bringing it in like on forklifts or whatever? But it does. It's just like somebody's getting fired over this for sure. Because this is nuts.
Right. So anyway, what you can see here, I've included the YouTube video, which is probably the best thing. It's a Sentinel. It's an X-Men Sentinel, like the comic book X-Men 97 accurate Sentinel on the grounds here, kind of confirming that this is probably the X-Mansion. And maybe they're not fighting an incursion. Maybe they are fighting something on their world, right? Because I don't see the Sentinels ever like showing up in the MCU, and we get some close-ups. The other thing is I've also included this person, whoever this person is. Rip, Marvel snipers are coming for you. They show off the statues in the courtyard, which I can't really tell if they're X-Men or not. Mike, they kind of look like generic statues.
Something that you would just kind of see at a just a mansion. Just a palatial mansion.
Exactly. So, Osaka Comic Con is this weekend. I thought we'd get something. They had like a display called Road to Avengers there. Didn't really give us anything new. But the set photos definitely blew up my feed here. They put up did I tell you they put up the green screen or the blue screen on the containers officially as well? So
yeah, I can see.
Yeah, so we're gonna be getting probably some filming soon. So if it gets too spoilery, we'll stop sharing it. But until then, we're just gonna have a good time, assuming that these are correct. But watch this never even appear, Mike. Like, they are literally probably allowing the people in the jacks, like, yeah, film whatever you want, put it online. We'll see what people think is real down the road. So the fact that these haven't been taken down is even more surprising. I figured Marvel would put out like a cease and desist on something, but yeah. Oh, the same account, by the way, who is getting us photos from Avengers Doomsday, is also doing drone shots and other things in London. And right now they're building Privet Drive for the Harry Potter TV show right now over there as well. So they got some drone shots of that. They also got some drone shots of House of the Dragon season 3 sets. So they got a whole drone crew over in England filming these sets. Lastly, here in the last, we've made an hour. We're going to talk a little bit about the Superman trailer that released this week, Mike. Unsurprisingly, we got a motion poster, which I'm not going to talk about because I think it's the stupidest thing ever, and I've already told too many people that the motion poster is dumb, because it's Superman with crypto that they did on the moon, but they photoshopped it into like on top of a building in like Metropolis. I'm like, it's the same thing. It's the same shadows, same wrinkles. Do something. You've got money. Do something unique. But anyway, the trailer dropped, and this kind of gives us a little bit maybe more of the story of the movie, Mike. Pretty riveting, I would say. Actually, this is probably of the footage released, got me interested in the movie before we get there, like it's supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited. Like, we've been getting some reports over the last couple months of total rumors of people who have seen like early cuts of the movie, and it's like, oh, it's not good, or you're like, this is bad. Warner Brothers is nervous.
It ebbs and flows every week. It's great. It's the best thing ever, and it's like, no, we're all in trouble. It's the worst one ever.
Yeah, and then, of course, just like when you do circle, circle, dot, dot to get your cootie shot, I try to remind myself. They also said the Ezra Miller's Flash movie was like the best movie that humans have ever made. And Tom Cruise watched it, and he loved it. And he's in all these really popular movies, so it must be good. So try to temper all of that news with those previous facts that we've brought up on the show. But I absolutely love how much personality this Superman has, this Clark Kent. Like, it seems like he's a real, like, human being, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there seems to be this interpretation to film recently where, like, Superman is like a god. He's like a Greek god, so he's got to be stoic. He has to be this otherworldly being. But, like, that totally negates the fact that he grew up in Kansas like a totally normal kid.
His mom and dad look like people you'd see at the video store trying to buy geezer teasers or rent geezer teasers. So
yes, exactly. So I love how much just like heart it has to it. I mentioned this on the show before when I kind of compared this world that Gunn is building a little bit to the Invincible TV show, where it's already a lived-in superhero world that we're getting dropped into. So there's so much work already done for them. Like, they can show Nathan Fillion with his lantern ring just like slapping a car out of the way with a big green hand, and like you don't need like a whole explanation of how this is happening. And like, there can be a character with like giant hawk wings, and we don't need a whole lore deep dive HBO Max series to explain how this person gets wings. So they're really setting themselves up for success building out a world like this, and I'm very excited. Like, I don't know if this gigantic kaiju that they keep highlighting in these trailers and teaser trailers is part of the world at all, and I don't think I feel like this character is just going to be like something that Superman takes care of like real quick or something. I don't know, maybe Lex built it in a lab, I don't know, but like, everything just seems like so much fun in this. I've been using my wife as a barometer on this movie because her patience for the superhero universe is starting to get pretty thin. She's getting she's getting pulled in too many directions in these superhero universes, but she's always really liked Superman. So I showed her this trailer, and she's like, "Oh, that looks really good. I actually might want to see this one." So this one will pass the babysitter test based on this trailer. I think we are definitely going to be seeing this one the week it comes out. I don't know, Chris. What do you think? This looks really great.
I'm having a good time. I put in my notes here. We get to see the Justice Gang, the Hammer of Boravia. It corrected my thing here. Like the guy he's fighting in a metal suit. There's a kaiju. There's a lot of villains he's fighting. He's fighting Ultraman. He's fighting the Engineer. Crypto's there. We've got Metamorpho turning his hand into kryptonite. It looks like in a big gel cell to weaken Superman. The thing I will ding this trailer for the most, Mike, I will say James Gunn has done a disservice, is that it is using the John Williams score. And it's not because I don't like the John Williams score and not because it's a bad thing to do, but this movie needs to stand on its own. And by reusing the music from the 70s, right? Like this movie looks good enough. It should have its own music. It should have its own tag. It should have its own sound. And I'm like, do that. Like, you have enough people involved in this. He's got enough creativity. He's a big fan of music. He loves music so much he'll beat you over the head with songs you've never heard of before. But like, I really wish they wouldn't rely on John Williams and nostalgia to push this Superman, because I think it has enough power and enough energy and enough story, enough characters to stand on its own. And that's, I might be in the minority take on that one, but I think it should have everything unique in its thing, because for the people who don't know, probably 40 plus, that this is, James Gunn's Superman, you heard that, you might think it's a sequel to Superman Returns or the other Christopher Reeve Superman, right? Because these people exist. They don't need to, like, if it was like, oh, it's an origin story and we're getting John Williams, well, they'll probably think, oh, it's a new movie. But I'm curious how many people will think this is a sequel to Christopher Reeve Superman. Based on that alone. Simply because if I was like, Mike, do you remember anything about the original Superman movie? You'd be like, well, I could probably pick out John Williams' score and when he flew around the Earth backwards to reverse time, but that's about it. But anyway, it's fine. I think there's a lot of cool stuff here. There's we're not gonna go through the breakdowns, but it is cool to see his mom and dad living in like essentially not a big farmhouse, but like a farm double wide that you would see. Like we grew up near, like in Indiana, right? Mr. Terrific has his T-spheres. You mentioned, what's his name? The Green Lantern, using his ring to create things out of the ground. So I'm very excited to kind of see this overall when it comes out in July. And for those interested, Amazon accidentally put up an image teasing Amazon Prime early screenings on June 8th.
Yeah, 7th or 8th or something, and I was confused because I was like, wait, I can watch this on Prime? And I think it's like a theater experience, but you probably have to have like a Prime account to register for it.
Yeah, they've done a couple things like this before where you're like, hey, you got to come here, get on Prime, and pick your theater, then you get 2 tickets, and then we'll oversell the theater, so you got to get there early kind of thing. You don't pay for them. But I think this is going to be a movie that will probably have a lot of fan reactions, probably earlier than the actual official release. So we'll do that.
Yeah, it's a good sign that they're putting the movie out early in the world.
Yes. Also, tickets are on sale June 12th. Is the leak as well. So which makes sense. 4 weeks before the movie comes out, that's when we'll start doing ticket sales. So we've got that to look forward to. Also, this is This is a little postscript for this. I'm pretty sure the entire plot of this movie is leaked online, Mike.
Oh man!
Because obviously, I'll see tidbits here and there looking at news. A lot of them from a couple months ago line up with this trailer, and I'm like, oh, that's probably a sign that one's the real one. So probably don't go digging if you don't want to know anything about this movie and kind of go in blind a little bit along the way. So, boop, there's that. Next week, we have a Jurassic World Rebirth trailer to look forward to. So another July movie. Getting a trailer. We'll talk about that next week. But if people don't know what you're up to, what you're doing in the meantime, where can they find you at, buddy?
Yeah, they can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com and liferewardsrisk.com. Chris, if people want to catch up with you, where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, Valdan87, VALDAN, or Video Game Systems of the same name. If people want to know more about our show, where they can come get our release schedule, see all these links in the show notes, watch the trailers, get all the other episodes, where can they get all them goodies at?
Yes, Lex Luthor has us imprisoned over at superheroslate.com. I don't know if Metamorpho is there or not, but we have an upcoming release calendar. We have our show notes. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, wherever else you love listening to podcasts. We got merch, superheroslate.com/store. We love hearing from you. Let us know what you're watching, what you're playing, what you're reading. We love our super fans. If you want to be a super fan of this show, all you have to do is share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy, and we'll be here every week, folks.
That's right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.